Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to succeed, but almost no one's willing to do what it actually takes. They show up once, then disappear. They post once, then vanish. They train for a week, then quit. But success doesn't reward effort, it rewards consistency. Not who's loudest on day one, but who's still grinding when it's boring, still pushing when nobody's clapping, still locked in when motivation is gone. You don't need talent. You don't need perfect timing. You just need to keep showing up day after day, hour after hour. When it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when nobody's watching, that's the difference. Not luck, not genius, discipline, grit, consistency. While they're chasing shortcuts, you're stacking wins. While they burn out, you're still in the fight. And in the end, it's not the most talented who win, it's the most consistent, the ones who show up every damn day. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the body, the money, the recognition, the results. But very few are willing to do the boring and lonely work that it takes, day after day after day. Because the truth is, consistency doesn't look cool. It doesn't feel epic. It isn't a highlight reel. You think getting up at 4:30 in the morning, lacing up your shoes, and walking into the cold without a soul in sight is fun? You think choosing grilled chicken over fast food, books over distractions, hard truth over easy lies is glamorous. Hell no, but it works. That's the difference between the ones who say they want it and the ones who go get it. It's not about one perfect day. It's not about one moment of hype. It's about what you do when the hype dies. When nobody's texting you, let's go. When the gym is empty. When your body's tired and your mind whispers, you've done enough. You want to be elite. You want to build a life you don't need a vacation from. You want to be the kind of man people can't ignore. Then you better get real comfortable with doing the things most people avoid. Again and again and again. Because consistency is not a burst, it's a code, it's a creed. It's a silent agreement you make with yourself that says, I don't care how I feel, I don't care who's watching, I don't care how slow it goes, I'm not quitting. People will call you obsessed. They'll say you're extreme. They'll laugh when you leave the party early. They'll joke when you carry your meal prep or decline the distractions. Let them laugh. Because while they laugh, you build. While they rest, you rise. While they wait for the right moment, you make every moment right. You don't owe anyone an explanation, but you owe your future self everything. And if you think consistency is boring, good. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to test your patience. It's supposed to break weak men. So only the committed remain standing. You know what's better than motivation? Discipline. That cold, quiet, steel-like focus that doesn't need noise, that doesn't need permission, that doesn't wait for January 1st or Monday morning. The kind of discipline that looks itself in the mirror and says, let's do it again. You want results that last? Build habits that last. Build a routine that holds the line when motivation collapses. Build a work ethic that doesn't skip days just because you don't feel it. You think beasts are built when it's easy? They're built in the storm, in the mud, in the grind nobody talks about. While others scroll, you study. While others snooze, you sharpen. While others procrastinate, you execute. Because the truth, most people are addicted to new plans, new hacks, new shortcuts. But success, it's addicted to repetition. It respects the man who shows up again and again and again, even when nothing seems to be changing. But here's the twist. It is changing. With every workout, you're building power. With every disciplined choice, you're stacking self-respect. With every early morning, you're creating separation. It's not about the weight you lift. It's about the weight you carry. The mental weight, the responsibility, the relentless pursuit of your vision, no matter how slow it feels. You want to lead, you want to dominate, You want to own your name? Then consistency must become your identity. It's not just what you do, it's who you are. You don't try to be disciplined. You are disciplined. You don't hope to succeed. You plan to, and back that plan up with savage effort. You don't need to feel motivated. You're already moving, because motion creates motivation. And when the results finally come, when the respect rolls in, when the world starts noticing what you've built in silence, you won't be surprised, because you'll remember every lonely rep, every early alarm, every sacrifice no one saw, and you'll stand tall, not because the world praises you, but because you didn't fold. You kept the promise to yourself. That's what separates men from boys. That's what builds warriors. That's what builds unshakable, unstoppable, real success. So next time you think about skipping the work, next time you're waiting for motivation, next time your brain says, just this once, remember who the hell you are. You're not built to be average. You're not wired to coast. You're here to dominate. One brick at a time, 1 hour at a time, one lonely, boring, powerful, consistent day at a time. Because consistency might not look like much in the moment, but one day it'll look like everything they ever wanted, and only you will have it. The world pays attention to the ones who don't quit. If you show up once, no one cares. Why should they? Everybody shows up once. Everybody starts. Everybody says they're going to do something. But most people, they disappear just as fast. They talk big. Then life gets uncomfortable. Then the hype fades and they vanish, just like they always do. But you're not built like them. You're not here for a spark. You're here to build a fire that never dies. Show up for a week. Now a few people look your way. All right, he's serious for now. But they're still waiting for you to fold, waiting for the excuses, waiting for you to fade out just like all the others. Because that's the pattern they've seen their whole lives. People start, people quit. But then something strange happens. You don't leave, you keep showing up, not for days, not for weeks, but for months, for years. And that's when the world starts paying attention. Because consistency is a threat. It terrifies the average. It exposes the lazy. It makes the comfortable feel uncomfortable. It forces people to confront the one thing they avoid their entire lives: discipline. See, when you're consistent, you don't just build a routine. You build reputation. You build credibility. You build power. And not the fake kind people post about online. I'm talking about the quiet, immovable, unstoppable power that's earned through blood, sweat, and repetition. Day after day, set after set, early mornings, late nights, no applause, no cameras, just work. While others chase motivation, you build momentum. While they look for shortcuts, you're building roots. While they complain about how long it's taking, you're stacking bricks. And those bricks, they turn into walls. They turn into fortresses. They turn into an empire built by your bare hands. And now, they can't ignore you. They feel your presence. You walk into the room, and the whole damn energy shifts. You don't have to say a word. Your discipline speaks before you do. Because when you've been in the fire and stayed, when you've been at war with yourself and kept swinging, when you felt pain, doubt, exhaustion, and still kept walking, you're no longer a contender. You're a problem. Your name carries weight. Your work becomes too loud to silence. Your results slap louder than their excuses. You're not chasing success anymore. You're pulling it toward you with every action. You've made it inevitable, and that's when the world starts asking, where did he come from? How is he doing this? What's his secret? But there is no secret. It was the lonely grind, the thankless hours, the mornings when you didn't want to get up, but got up anyway. The nights when your body said quit, but your soul said, keep going. It was every rep you did when no one was clapping, every move you made when no one believed, every sacrifice you made when no one even noticed. You stayed in the dirt, you bled in silence, and now you shine in front of everyone. They thought you were just another wannabe. They didn't know you were the last one standing, because you didn't show up to try. You showed up to take over. They don't respect starters, they respect finishers. They don't follow those who speak the loudest. They follow the ones who never back down. So keep showing up when you're tired, when it's boring, when no one notices, when it feels like it's going nowhere. Because every time you show up, you're proving something to the world. But more importantly, you're proving something to yourself. You are not average. You are not soft. You are not part of the crowd. You're a warrior. You're the one who kept going when it wasn't convenient, when it wasn't fun, when the hype died, when the lights went off. You kept going when every voice said, you've done enough, but you knew the truth. Enough is never enough when greatness is the goal. You didn't want attention, you wanted transformation, and now the world is watching because they can't help it. The man who doesn't quit, he becomes a storm no one can stop. He becomes legend. So stay locked in, stay cold, stay focused, keep swinging, keep showing up, because one day you'll look around and everyone who once doubted you, they'll be silent, because you earned the one thing they never will, respect. And you earned it the hard way, the real way, the only way that lasts, through consistency, through grit, through showing up every damn day. You can't lose if you never leave. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. You weren't beaten, you left. You didn't lose, you quit. You had the fire, you had the tools, you had the spark. But the moment things got heavy, you stepped back. You started looking for shortcuts. You got tired, you wanted it easy. That's where most people fold. Not because they're not good enough, but because they weren't built to endure. But here's the code. You never lose if you never leave. Let that sink in, because the real ones, the ones who build empires, who create legacies, they don't rely on hype. They don't chase perfection. They just refuse to disappear. Day in, day out, rain or shine, bored or fired up, they're there. Putting in the work when no one's watching, grinding when there's no applause, sharpening their blade in silence. Because they know every day you show up, you're collecting power. You're stacking reps, building momentum, gaining ground. And the world can't stop a man with unstoppable consistency. You think the lions at the top of the mountain got there by being lucky? By being motivated every day? No. They got there because they never left the mountain. They clawed, they bled, they suffered, and they stayed. They outlasted the weak. They endured the storms. And when the smoke cleared, they were still standing. That's the game. Not who's the fastest, not who's the strongest, not who's the smartest, but who's still there when everyone else is gone. The man who won't back down, the one who doesn't flinch, the one who shows up regardless of how he feels. That's the man you respect. That's the man the world eventually salutes, because he's built something most people never will: discipline. Understand this. You don't rise by doing it once. You rise by doing it every damn day, every session, every hour, every sacrifice when no one sees. The progress you're looking for, it's buried under a mountain of days you don't want to show up for. But if you do it anyway, that's where greatness begins. You don't get to rise by showing up once and disappearing. You rise when you commit to showing up forever. And yeah, it's going to get heavy. It's going to get frustrating. Some days you'll want to walk away. But those are the days that matter the most, because that's the fork in the road. That's where you choose what kind of man you really are. You want to be average? Leave. You want to be forgotten? Quit. But if you want to be dangerous, If you want to be unshakable, if you want to be the last one standing, then stay. Stay in the fight. Stay when it hurts. Stay when it's boring. Stay when no one's clapping. Stay when no one believes. Because every day you stay, you evolve. Every day you stay, you build armor. Every day you stay, the gap widens between you and the quitters. This isn't about motivation. This is about identity. Who are you when the fire fades? Who are you when the results take time? Who are you when it's just you, the grind and the silence? Because that man, the one who stays, he becomes unstoppable. So don't you dare give up. Don't you dare walk away. Don't you dare break that chain. Keep showing up. Keep building brick by brick. Even if it's not glamorous, even if it's not loud, even if no one sees it right now. Because one day they will see. They'll see the body you built, the skills you mastered, the life you created, and they'll call you lucky. But you'll know the truth. You just never left. And because you stayed, you made it impossible to lose. Momentum is built in the daily grind. Your dreams don't need a perfect plan. They don't need some genius strategy or 100 backup options. They need one thing: relentless, consistent action. You don't need luck. You don't need permission. You don't even need to have it all figured out. You just need to start, and then you need to keep showing up. Momentum doesn't come from hype. It doesn't come from motivation. It comes from showing up on the hard days, on the boring days, on the days where you feel invisible. At first it feels like nothing's moving. You're doing the reps, putting in the hours, but no one's clapping, no spotlight, no reward. And that's when most people quit. That's when the average fold, because they're addicted to results, not the process. But if you can fight through that silence, if you can show up when it feels like nothing is happening, you're building something unstoppable. See, momentum is a silent monster. You don't see it coming, but it's growing with every single action you take. Every morning you rise early. Every time you say no to distraction. Every workout, every study session, every step forward, even the tiny ones, they're stacking bricks. And then one day, boom, the wall cracks, the dam breaks, the results pour in, and people say, damn, how did he blow up so fast? How did she make it overnight? They don't see the grind. They don't see the days you were dead tired but still showed up. They don't see the late nights, the early mornings, the tears behind the drive. But you'll know. You'll know it wasn't one giant leap. It was 1,000 tiny steps. It was the mornings where you didn't quit, the evenings where you stayed locked in, the decisions no one applauded but you made anyway. That's where momentum lives, not in flashes, not in highlights, but in the gritty, repetitive, lonely work that no one else wants to do. That's the secret. It's not about doing something amazing once. It's about doing something meaningful every single day. The ones who win, they build that pressure, they stack that grind. They create so much forward force that eventually nothing can stop them. So if it's hard right now, good. That means you're in the right place. That means the wheels are turning, the machine is coming to life. Don't stop now. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't break the rhythm, because momentum is earned, and once you've got it, it's a weapon, it's power, it's the force that takes you from average to unstoppable. So lock in, grind harder, keep moving, and let the world feel the weight of your momentum. If you're still here, if you made it all the way to the end, you're built different. You're not just a dreamer, you're a doer. Type "I show up" in the comments to affirm that you watched this through. Let the world know you're locked in. And hey, if this message fired you up, like the video, subscribe for more raw motivation, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep showing up, keep grinding, and never back down.